Ladies and gents, welcome to this video. My name is Taylor Benterud, and we're going to talk about mirror mindset, which is something that'll help you become immovable and untriggerable, and basically allows you to walk through life in a very calm, easygoing, peaceful state, even amid chaos. Okay, so few things you'll need: open mind, radical responsibility. We'll talk about distortion and lens and you versus you. But mirror mindset is about this. Okay, if you think something outside of you is moving your emotions, somebody screams at you, somebody says you're an idiot, and your day's ruined, and your emotions are all over the place, and you're angry, and you're this and you're that, you're resented. Typically people blame other people, and for many years I did this. So if someone said something to me, whatever, now I'm in a bad mood because they said something to me, and I'm in a bad mood because of that person. I'm feeling this way because of that thing that occurred. I'm feeling this way because I read in the news this, and this. I'm feeling this way because, this person left our agency, whatever. Okay, great. If any form of resentment, any form of trigger, it never actually is caused by the thing that happens outside of you. The event is not the cause. Okay, let's make this very, very clear, because this is the key concept here. Events are not causes, especially within the subject of your emotions. Okay, emotions. This is a really hard concept to understand, but X occurs and then you feel Y. Typically people look at X and they think, okay, let's say that somebody screams at you, right? So some person on I don't know, let's just say it's actually one of your coworkers, screams at you, says some horrible things, says mean things. I don't know. Let's just assume that that's what happens. Great. Now your day is ruined. I don't know. Your mood is off. Day is wrecked. Pretty straightforward. This is a really common basic example. Mood is, let's just say, angry, sad, resented. You're feeling all sorts of terrible emotions. Now you can't focus. Okay, great. We have X, we have Y. Now, this does not cause that. What actually causes that is a reflection of your inner emotions. Okay? So we're going to call this Z. This is the magical mirror. Okay, so this person's saying things to you and you're perceiving what they're saying. Okay? So this is kind of like if you come up to me and you say, Taylor, I hate your YouTube videos. They absolutely suck. You should never make a video ever again. And that starts ruining my day. You did not cause me to feel whatever I'm feeling. If I start feeling resented at you, if I get angry, you're not the cause of that. With a mirror mindset, you realize, you're aware, and you recognize that the true cause of your anger and your resentment and your less preferable mood is actually your perception of the words that were said to you. Because you control your emotions. So what is coming out of you did not happen because of what was thrown at you. What is coming out of you was inside of you to begin with, and it erupted through a certain type of trigger. So triggers are beautiful. Someone says something to you, it triggers something inside of you that comes out. It's inside of you. Okay, it's not that person. That person didn't cause you to get angry. If someone comes up to me and says, my YouTube's shit, that person didn't cause me to get angry if I get angry. I cause myself to get angry because that person's just a reflection of me. And if that person says some stuff to me and I'm insecure about my YouTube content, and I get angry, it's because of the insecurities. Unfortunately, people don't have this level of awareness to be able to see that the negative emotions that arise are not arising because of that person, but it's arising because of some distortion in their belief system. I like to call it a distortion in the lens. And let's talk about that distortion in the lens. So everybody has a pair of glasses that they wear on their face. Okay, let's say that this is a pair of glasses. And what's unfortunate is that as we grow up, okay, let's say you're born. Now you're born pretty pure, But as you grow up in childhood, you start to get programmed in certain ways. Okay, let's say you're born in a pretty abusive family and it's a very traumatic household. Maybe you're born in a really poor environment. Your family doesn't have much money. And so there's kind of a poverty mindset that gets installed into your consciousness at a young age. Each of these things that occurs in your childhood cracks your lens a little bit. Okay, it just cracks it a little bit. And the more things that occur that are not aligned with actual truth just keeps cracking the lens. And so by the time you're in adulthood or you're entering adulthood, your glasses are pretty fucked up, man. Like, you're trying to look at life, but you don't really know how to actually see life because the belief system that you have, which you can think of as this invisible pair of glasses, right? This is my belief system. It's got all these cracks in it. And it comes from the programming that occurs when you're typically in your childhood. You're a child. You're innocent. You're not aware of what's being programmed into you. You're not aware that you live in a poor family. One of my really good business partners, really good friends, he said to me the other day, this is Sean, he said, I didn't even know, he came up in I don't think he minds me saying this, but he grew up in a pretty poor family. And he was telling me the other day on the phone, he said, I didn't even know until I was like 13 or 14 or something, and someone told me, and then I like knew, and then that started to change my perception of everything, etc. So things get programmed into you, and unfortunately schools and typically parents don't talk to you about how to process your emotions. And so when someone says something to you and you get triggered, you resent them and you get mad, and then you don't take ownership that your resentment and anger stemmed from your insecurity or your whatever it might be. There's got to be some distortion in the lens that causes this anger to come out of you. So I've talked about this in Agency Enlightened, in the mindset of Agency Enlightened, in really great depths, and this is just really surface level. When a trigger occurs, it's a beautiful moment for you to reflect on that trigger once you've kind of calmed down and think, ooh, where did this come from? Why did the words that person said to me move me so much? How come I'm not able to just be secure? How come I'm not able to just hold neutrality? How come I'm not able to maintain a positive mood when someone tells me that, your YouTube content is terrible, whatever it is someone says to me? How come I'm not able to maintain equilibrium? That's a great question. Then you can go into in self-inquiry, and you can begin to understand the programs that were installed to you. Typically, it's a lot of childhood stuff. Typically, it could be a complete lack of knowledge in a certain area of life. Like, for me, I lacked knowledge around processing emotions, and so I read lots of different books around like dealing and managing yourself and your emotions and communicating with others. And really good book I read is How to Become an Adult. It talks about like integrating your ego and building a healthy ego and recognizing the triggers that occur and seeing them as beautiful lessons and not looking at them as, oh, life sucks and like my life is horrible. Because a lot of people, when terrible things occur in their life, they see the glass half empty, and that sucks because you don't have to see it that way. You can see it as a beautiful, event in which you can learn from, and you can learn from tremendously. The worse it is, the more you can likely learn from it, and the more you need to learn it. So this is kind of what the mirror mindset's about. I tried to do my best to go over it as best as possible. At the end of the day, it's you versus you, and your emotions. You're responsible for how you feel. Okay, it doesn't matter if you look at the news and something absolutely terrible has occurred. If that puts you in a bad mood, that's your fault, right? And now, obviously, I understand there's going to be certain events that occur in life that are going to be very difficult for you to not maintain. Like, if you're, like for example, if you're all happy and then all of a sudden, your brother dies in a car accident. Well, that's pretty freaking terrible. You're probably going to, grieve and cry, and it's going to be a sad day, let alone possibly a very sad week. That's okay. Those things are acceptable. What I'm talking about here is the things that are distorted, because when a close family member or a friend or a brother dies, whatever, that's not distortion for you to cry. That's totally fine. That's pure. But when someone says something negative to you and you get all angry about it, well, that's distortion. There's no need for you to react and become an animal. And this goes even deeper. We could talk about and the inner animal in every human, which is basically the ego. But we'll leave that for another video. Ladies and gents, this was an interesting video. I don't typically talk about too much stuff like this. The depths of mindset, I really want to leave in Agency Enlightened. Again, I can't put out everything on YouTube absolutely free. But this scratches the surface, and it is really beautiful. And I think this is the core concept that I think can really transform your mindset and help you become less triggerable, if that's even a word, and more sturdy and more calm and more peaceful throughout your days. And if you have this, how does this benefit the growth of your agency? It's pretty obvious. You have more time to be focused. You're less triggered. You're more in the zone. And so 10 years goes by, and because you actually mastered your emotions and your mindset, you had exponentially greater output than all of the other competitors that you're competing against. Not only that, but you're exponentially happier. Ladies and gents, that's it for this video. Please hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're a very loyal fan to this channel and you've been here for quite some time, I appreciate that. Please say something in the comment section. Not too many people comment, but when you do, it gives me a chance to interact with you and connect. So much love, ladies and gents. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.